Welcome back to the channel. If you're struggling in credit card debt, you're definitely not alone. With the national debt rising rapidly, many individuals find themselves burdened by the weight of credit card debt. And in today's video, I'm going to provide you with 5 powerful steps that you can take that can help you break free from this financial burden. And by implementing these strategies, you'll be able to take significant steps towards achieving that ultimate goal of financial freedom. And if you're new to the channel, I just want to quickly ask that you consider liking and subscribing down below for future personal finance and credit card videos. Now, the first step that you want to make sure that you do is that you are making more than just the minimum monthly payments. An important thing to keep in mind when it comes to credit card debt is that paying only the minimum amount due each month can keep you trapped in a never-ending cycle of debt. This is primarily because of the high interest rates associated with the credit cards. So for example, let's say that you owe $10,000 on a credit card with a 22% APR. With that APR, you're paying $183 in just interest alone, and usually credit cards make you pay a minimum monthly balance of at least 1% of your debt. So in this case, it would be $100 towards your principal. That means your monthly payment would be around $283. And it will take you about 350 months to pay off that balance, and you will have paid an additional $17,693 in just interest alone. However, there is a way out. By increasing your monthly payments, even by just a little bit, you can start chipping away at that debt way more effectively. And not only will this help you reduce your debt faster, but you'll actually end up saving a lot more money in the long run. And the most common way to do this is something called the snowball method. This is where you have multiple credit card payments, and you're going to start with the one that has the least amount on it. In our example of $10,000, let's just say that was split between 3 credit cards. We will take the smallest amount, make an extra monthly payment on it, all the while continuing to make the minimum monthly payments on the other ones until that one is completely paid off. Then you move on to the next smallest one. What this will do is it will give you confidence on tackling your debt very early on by being able to see results a lot faster. However, my favorite method is something called the avalanche method, where you tackle the credit card with the highest APR regardless of balance size. In our $10,000 credit card, split up between 3 credit cards, let's just say the highest APR was 27% on one card, while the other 2 were still at 22%. You would make the extra payments to that highest APR credit card first, while maintaining your minimum monthly payments on the others until that one was paid off. I like this more because by putting more money into the credit card with the higher interest rate, you'll be able to save a lot more money over time. However, it will take a little bit longer before you start seeing results. But once you do, those results will be a lot bigger than the other method because you're saving a lot more money on interest. And now when it comes to managing your finances and getting out of credit card debt, having a budget is absolutely crucial. A budget serves as a roadmap for your finances, helping you track your expenses, prioritizing debt payments, and avoiding unnecessary spending. It allows you to gain a clear understanding of where your money is going, and it allows you to make informed decisions on how to direct your funds. Now, what I do every single month is track all my expenses towards my necessities so I know exactly where every single dollar has went. Now, this is something called the zero-based budget, and it is definitely a lot more of a conservative approach when it comes to budgets. But what I like about this is that I am left with no money just to waste, and I am able to keep myself self-disciplined. But a more common budgeting method is something called the 50-30-20 rule. And this is where 50% goes to your essential spendings, 30% will go to your personal spendings, and 20% will go to either your debt payoffs or your savings. Now, this is more of a relaxed method, and those percentages can be tweaked to your own personal needs, but it is a great starting place for people that are completely new to budgeting. Which brings me to my next step, and that is to avoid impulsive purchases. Now, we've all been there. That moment of weakness when we give in to the temptation of making an impulsive purchase. However, when it comes to credit card debt, these impulsive buying decisions can have a significant impact on your financial well-being. By exercising self-discipline and spending habits, you can avoid unnecessary purchases that strain your finances. One thing mentioned before is to track your finances and allocate every single dollar that you earn. Another very common method, however, is to delay your instant gratification. If I want to make a purchase, I will very often wait about a week before doing so. What this gives me is time to do a gut check to ensure that it is a good financial move or if it's a purchase that is purely based on emotion. Now, the next step that you want to make sure to do is to build up an emergency fund. Now, this will give you a safety net with unexpected surprises, and by having that financial cushion in place, you'll be able to cover unexpected expenses without having to run towards credit cards. Ideally, you want to have a 6-month cash reserve built up, which is a good financial cushion. But however, if you still have debts to pay off, it might be worth allocating at least $20 a week towards an emergency fund, which will build up to $1,000 by the end of the year. You can even take the next step and put that emergency fund in a high-yield savings account, which you can have access to any single time, and it will help you build up some interest on your money. And now the final strategy that you should implement is to avoid spending emotionally. Now, emotional spending is that something all of us are guilty of, whether it's a result of stress, boredom, or the desire for a quick pick-me-up. However, these emotional spending habits can lead us towards unnecessary debt as well as just complete financial instability. Understanding and controlling your emotional triggers is key to making more rational financial decisions. Look for cheaper alternatives to your spending. If you eat out a lot, look towards home-cooked meals. If you shop in high-end stores, consider going to a retail store instead. They are overlooked often. But there are so many instances where you can find clothing there 40 to 80% cheaper than high-end clothing. Now, I hope these 5 strategies have empowered you and have given you the actionable steps to tackle your credit card debt head on. You're not alone in this, and with some determination and self-discipline, you can pave the way to a better future for yourself. Let me know what financial strategy you have found most useful, and if there are any others out there that you have found effective as well. Also, please be sure to like and subscribe so I can continue making awesome content like this for you guys.